Looks like shutdowns and lockdowns and lockouts, whatever the hell you want to call them, are coming back in blue cities and blue states. And of course, all of this is gestating in different places across the country. You got Los Angeles looking to mask up literally everybody at all times. Then you got New York running their own brand of insanity. And then you got Chicago right smack dab in the middle, a place that has been controlled by Democrats for the better part of a century at this point. And now, guess what? Well, they're just locking down schools wholesale, okay? They ain't even worrying about masks, okay? But that might be one of those caveats in order to implement virtual learning, that everybody's going to have to be masked up at home. But who knows? We might get that far. But then again, we need to take a look at the people who are at the controls of these levers out here, because we know at least one of them, okay? We know Lori Lightfoot, and what the hell she's going to do. If it was up to her, she'd just be knocking on doors out there, dragging kids out, and then just having them thrown back into schools, because as weird and awful as she is, she does have a bit of an authoritarian streak. And you know what, when push comes to shove, she's much more about that push than she is about, anything concerning negotiations. So maybe it's a good thing that you put somebody else in charge. So the Chicago Teachers Union in Chicago cancels classes after the Teachers Union votes to return to virtual learning. That's cool, okay, because this Chicago's Teachers Union, they were at the center of one of the big holdouts this time last year, maybe a little bit closer to the spring, okay, when we were going out of virtual learning to begin with, okay. Everybody else was, okay, fine, yeah, we're going to be going back to the classroom, okay, everybody's going to have all of their stupid hand sanitizer, just gargle with the fucking bleach before you go into class, because you don't want to spread the coof at the time, whatever variant was running wild at the moment. But the big holdout was in Chicago, so it only makes sense that they'd be doing this, running it back one more time. Maybe they're going to try to hold out, see if they can help with writing the policy again this time, see how many more kickbacks the teachers unions can get. Chicago school officials cancel classes Wednesday following a teachers union's vote to shift back to virtual learning due to a rise in coof cases. Oh my god, is Chicago the epicenter of this? But they've tried to lock down and nanny state harder than just about anywhere else that's out there, from a state level and then down to a city level as well. So you know what, obviously getting more government intervention must be the solution, because so much government intervention just really hasn't borne out any sort of results. The Chicago Teachers Union, the CTU, oh man, the CTU was so much better when it was just in 24. Voted 73% in favor of a resolution that called for the return to learning outside classrooms. Cool. Why don't we just get in some teachers? Because there's an overabundance of teachers that are out there to just come in and replace the ones that don't want to work. Seems like a fair handoff. The union says teachers won't return to the classroom unless Chicago public schools make changes, or unless the current wave eases. Okay, again, yeah, we'll wait for this wave to go down, and then the next one comes. Oh no, we can't go back to the classroom. Oh, look at that, it's summer vacation. We're not going to work anyways. Okay, cool. To be clear, educators of this city want to be in buildings with their students. No, you don't. That's a lie. We believe that classrooms are where the children should be, but as a result of tonight's show, Mayor Lightfoot and her CPS team have yet to provide safety for the overwhelming majority of schools, the union said in a statement. Okay, sure. Chicago is the third largest school district in the country. No shit. Mayor Lori Lightfoot, a Democrat, and President Joe Biden's administration have been pushing for schools to remain open, doing a fantastic job. Whenever they exercise their power, you take a look at places like, like Florida. They aren't closing up any of their schools anyways. And how are their cases doing? Oh, cool. Below average or on pace with everywhere else that's out there? Cool. And how many restrictions and mandates do they have? 0? Something about that, huh? There's no basis in the data, the science, or common sense for us to shut an entire system down when we can surgically do this at a school level, Lightfoot told reporters late Tuesday. Huh. You should use that logic on your own city itself. But then again, Lollapalooza isn't going to be happening until the summer, so you can just wait and lock everybody down before that, before tourism needs to pick up once again. The worst thing we can do... Already read that. She vowed the teachers who did not show up to work on Wednesday would not be paid. Oh my god, but don't worry, the unions will have their back, right? It's not like they're being run by somebody who's totally and utterly corrupt, right? Couldn't possibly be the case. Officials said before the vote was announced that if the teachers approved to move classes, they would be canceled along with other school activities, but students who were dropped off were taken care of. Chicago Public Schools CEO Pedro Martinez added. Okay. Martinez asked the union to push back the vote so negotiations on a safety plan could continue, and the union rejected the request. But there's nothing more than there's nothing else that we want more than being in the classroom with our students, but it's just not safe for us. Okay, cool. So yeah, we know who's leading the negotiations from one side of this. Chicago Public Schools CEO Pedro Martinez. Okay, bet you can probably still throw out one hell of a fastball. But who's on the other side of this? Okay, who's in charge of the Chicago Teachers Union? Well, he's an avowed socialist who shut down the Chicago schools today over goof. Teachers Union boss Jesse Sharkey, appropriate last name. 52 has long flirted with anti-capitalist causes, but lives like the 1%. What? Somebody who espouses socialist values and lives like a king on the backs of a bunch of money? What? No, I've never heard of something like this before. And married the daughter of a millionaire Royal Caribbean Cruises CEO? Oh my God. As somebody who doesn't live the values that they espouse, this is just news to me. I've never seen anything like this before in my life. The union boss at the center of Chicago schools shut down Firestorm is a longtime labor activist and supporter of socialism. I'm with the workers, except, and whenever it matters, but I'm with you guys. Sure you are. But critics say his lifestyle is more akin to the wealthiest 1%, living in an expansive $1.5 million estate on multiple adjoining lots in Rogers Park. Chicago's Teachers Union president, Jesse Sharkey, is said to drive a Tesla and is married to the daughter of Royal Caribbean Cruises' recently resigned CEO. This motherfucker ain't gonna have to work a day in his life. On Tuesday, 52-year-old Sharkey led his union members in a vote to refuse in-person instruction starting immediately, citing concerns over the rapid spread of the Omicron variant. You know, the one that produces runny noses and maybe a little bit of a cough? That one. That rapid spread led to the chaotic total shutdown of schools announced at 11 p.m. that prior night, as the school system said it did not have the systems in place for virtual instruction. Okay, cool. Sharkey, who has led the teachers union since 2014, said on Wednesday that teachers would only return to the classroom after the current surge subsides unless the district agrees to the union's demand for new testing and health protocols. No, get to work, or you get replaced. If you want to get us into the schools quicker, provide testing, Sharkey said at the Wednesday's news conference. Oh, why is that? Okay, a lot of officials are saying now if you're asymptomatic, don't bother getting a test. So, whatever. We've been failed by the mayor, we've been failed by the public health office and the teachers and the school staff, and have decided the only thing we have to control is whether we go into buildings. Yeah, you guys are just so oppressed and right on those front lines, obviously. The stunning drama in the nation's third largest public school district is with an enrollment of more than 350,000 kids. Interesting. Has thrust the longtime Chicago activist Sharkey into the national spotlight. Well, why is that? What does he have to be shameful of, other than, at his glasses selection? In the past, Sharkey's lavish lifestyle has drawn criticism from his opponents. Just living like a socialist, what did you expect? And speculation that his wealthy and decidedly capitalistic father-in-law is helping to bankroll his family. No. A socialist leech? Again, I've just never heard such things before in my life. Chicago journalist Mark Conkle, wrote in 2019 that Sharkey talks like a working-class tough guy but drives a Tesla and lives a luxurious 5-bedroom home. How can a union guy whose wife works for a socialist nonprofit book publisher, worthless people these guys are, live like the wealthiest 1%? Well, they just scum off of their father-in-law. Raised in central Maine by his mother, a poet and school teacher. Oh, came up from a single mom, huh? Interesting. Sharkey attended Brown University and majored in modern American history. So how did he become the leader of a teachers union? Oh, okay. After graduating, Sharkey went into labor organizing with the United Steelworkers in North Carolina before returning to Brown for a master's degree in teaching. That would be how. While teaching high school social studies in Providence, Rhode Island. Okay, this motherfucker went to Brown twice, and the best he could do is teach social studies in Rhode Island. Fucking failure of epic proportions. Sharkey met his now wife Julia Fain, the daughter of business executive Richard Fain, who has an estimated net worth of nearly $200 million. Wow! Richard Fain on Monday resigned as CEO of Royal Caribbean Group after 33 years. Oh wow, in a move that was part of a succession plan announced in November. Sharkey and Julie Fain moved together to Chicago, where she worked as an editor for a leftist magazine in these times before co-founding a radical independent book publisher, Haymarket Books. Alright. The couple share 2 children. That's unfortunate. I'm sure they do in multiple different ways. Public records show that Sharkey and Fain own a $868,000 home in Rogers Park, and that his wife's family trust bought the adjacent lot for $625,000 in 2006. $868,000 home and an additional lot just side by side, but that's is not owned by them. It's just owned by their family trust. Weird, huh? He was a member of the International Socialist Organization, a Trotskyite group that opposes capitalism, until the group dissolved in 2019 over allegations its leadership mishandled a sexual assault accusation. Socialist, living off of a capitalist's money, okay, living in a fucking life of luxury, and then sexual assault. Again, I've never heard this path happen before. Nope, couldn't possibly be true. From 2008 to 2013, Sharkey was an occasional contributor to the ISO publication socialistworkers.org. In 2012, when he was vice president of the CTU, Sharkey appeared shaken when his attendance at the Midwest Marxism Conference was raised at an interview on local radio station WLS-AM. Every time unions have raised issues about what's fair and what isn't and equality, people have branded them as communists, Sharkey replied. Your associations with socialism and communism and Marxism are fairly well established, my dude. I think it's a fair thing to say, especially when you're talking. Pressed on whether he agreed with the tenets of Marxism, Sharkey dismissed the interview as a witch hunt and said, "I'm allowed to attend a Marxist conference." Yeah, but what about speaking at it? Just asking. But yeah, I'd like to tell you that I'm shocked by all of this stuff, but then again, I don't want to be a liar like this hunk of shit. I'm just saying, this is a reason why it's very important to oppose all of these public school unions that are out there. Unions in general are fucking garbage, okay? They've long outlived their usefulness. Every once in a while, they do something good, but you take a look at those private business mandates that keep getting struck down or enforced and then struck down again and then injuncted. You know the ones that I'm talking about. The ones that are currently on the desk of the Supreme Court, which I won't hold my breath that they'll actually overturn any of this stuff. But when it comes to enforcing those, all you need to do is just take a look at who's continuing to carry those out. Yup, it's the unions that are out there. The unions drive a bunch of shit. But when it comes to workers' rights, yeah, no, they couldn't care less. It's about what they can do for the union and not what they could do for their union members. It's about enriching this guy and making sure that he has a proper wardrobe of red hoodies. How very appropriate. But with that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.